Now we're going to look at binomial common factor. Binomial common factor. So this is still common factors. We're still in the section called common factor, but we're looking for binomial common factor. Binomial means two terms. So two terms. So what does two terms look like? It looks like this. See this? Binomial. That's a binomial common factor. So w plus 1 is a binomial. That is common for both of these terms. When you look here, you can say this and this are two groups. How do I know they're two groups? Because they're broken up by this plus. This group plus this group. So you're bringing two groups together. So this group plus this group. It's two groups. Both of the groups have this w plus 1, a w plus 1. So what I said here is that you can use substitution to visualize the factors. So if you want, you can pretend that this w plus 1 is just this green blob, right? So you can say it's 4x green blob plus 5y green blob. So that's the same for each one. That's the same as what we were doing over here with the common factor. What's the same in each one? So we want the same thing in each one. Here, the same thing in each one is a binomial instead of a monomial. So we can still grab this. So sometimes people go, okay, it's the same thing as this. So if I had 4x, and I'm going to use green, I'm going to call this, say, m. So this green here, say m. So we're going to say plus 5y, and this m. So this is that binomial, right, where m is w plus 1. You don't have to do this. This is sometimes a bit more complicated to do, but we're trying to picture, visualize that this green is the same thing as a common factor. That's there, what we were doing earlier with the monomials. So you're going to grab, instead of grabbing the same monomial, you're going to grab the binomial. Now look, 4 and 5, do they have anything in common? 4 or 5? No. X and Y? No. So the only thing that's in common is I'm going to grab this w plus 1. The w plus 1. I'm going to grab that guy there, right? Just one of each. Each of them have one to take out. So we take the 1 out here, just like what we were doing with the monomial common factor. If it's the same in both, I take 1 out, put it here. Okay? So it's the same as what I did here. So I would take out the m, and then you would write down what's left over, 4x plus 5y. So you're taking out, instead of a single term, you're taking out this double term, a binomial. But you still write what's left over. So I'm going to write this guy came out, this one came out. So I'll have left over 4x plus 5y. So you're grabbing the whole thing instead of a single term. Okay, let's try that again. It's hard to visualize at first. So we're grabbing this whole a minus b and that whole a minus b. We're going to put it out here. A minus b. It doesn't matter the order. Some people ask, can I write this one in front of this? As long as they're the same two factors, they can be written forwards or backwards. So in other words, you could have written, so I'll say or if you wrote 4x plus 5y and then w plus 1. That's the same as this. Okay, just have them written backwards. That's okay. For the section that we did before with the monomials, we always write monomials first. Okay, monomials should always be written first. There's kind of no choice on that one. We always like to clean it up and put the monomial first. But here, when you have binomials, you can write them in either order, so backwards or forwards. They're the same answer. Here, we've got a plus a minus b, so I grab that same factor, and then that goes in front, just one of it, and you write down what's left over. You write down what's left over. Right, so grab that, just like what we grabbed the m, we put it in front, and we wrote down what's left over. So grab the a minus b, one of it here, just one, and then write down what's left over. It's the same with the next one, so hopefully you're seeing a pattern. Look, those are the same. Grab that. I like to grab the common one first. It's just my habit. So I grab that one, write it first, just one of it, because I grabbed one from each one, so just saying I took one from each, and you write down what's left over. And you look at what's left over to see if I can factor that more, but I can't. Okay, try it again. 3 plus p, 3 plus p. That's the same. So we're going to grab that one, write one of it out front because I took one from each one, right? Said that's the common, and write down what's left over. So the 2x is left over, minus, and there's actually an invisible 1 in front because we can't take that away and write minus nothing because look, there's nothing to write if I took that away. So what's there is this 1. So that invisible 1 is in front because there's a factor of minus 1 in front. So you have to write that invisible number there. Okay. So that is common binomial factoring. So I already set them up. I put the binomial there, and you're just going to grab it and take it out. Another type of common factor is factor by grouping. So this one's called factor by grouping. So usually when we give you these ones, there'll be 4 terms. So I'll say hint, 4 terms. It gets more complicated than that, but for this year, in grade 10, we only ever do 4 terms. So when you see 4 terms, you go, I should look for a common factor. Is there a common factor of A or C? Nothing common. So always look for common factor first. So first step is common factor. So just our regular common that I just showed you above with the binomial or the monomial common factor. There's nothing common. So then I go, okay, what if I can factor, and it's called 2 by 2 factoring. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And I cover this up, and I say, okay, is there anything common just with the first 2 then? If there's nothing common for the whole thing, can I just take out something common for the first 2? And yes, I see a C in both of them. So you're going to say, okay, I have a C. Write down what's left over. That would be an A. I took the C out, just one of the C's, and then you go B. Okay. The sign in the middle has to just go there. So I grab that sign, put it in the middle. Okay, so that still sits in the middle. And then I cover that up, and I look at the next 2. Okay, so first I said 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. I look for a common factor. There isn't one. So then I cover up the first 2 and go, is there common between these 2? There's a C. Took that out. Write the middle term down. And now I'm looking, cover that up, and I'm going to say, is there anything common between AD and BD? And AD and BD, I can see a D, right? So we have a D there. Over there. Yep. And then 1 second, sorry. And we're going to take the common factor of D, so we get the A plus B. Okay, so then the common factor would be A plus B. And you're going to write that down, A plus B, and write down what's left over, C plus D. So that common factor comes out here, and you write down what's left over again. Okay, we're going to try that again in a second.